Publishers. Article Publishers was born out of this. I worked for Semro for 20 years. In that 20 years, I ran their workshops, their seminars, I did their public speaking in terms of what they do, royalties, etc., etc. But the only limitation that one had was I could only speak about one organization because I was representing that organization. So out of that, and interacting with other people from Capaso, Impra, Sampra, Risa, all these people, Christos of this world, going from one place to the other, then I realized that one thing that is missing in the industry is information. Actually, the information is there. It's just a matter of how does it, go out there. As you say, like now it's a workshop, and thanks by the way for this is a full house. Everybody who's here will receive the information from the speakers, but the music industry, as you might know, it contributes 30% of the GDP. And that 30% is unfortunate that only 5% of that 30% is people who understand. It's not about knowing, but understand what rights are. What are your rights? Who are you? Are you a composer, an author, an artist, a publisher, record company, what. So if the minute you try to understand that kind of, I call it a music pie chart, then you are able to say, okay, fine, I'm an artist, but I cannot write music. I cannot create beats. I cannot write lyrics, but I can sing. I'm a performer. Then you are able to collaborate with those who can write. There's people who can write beautiful music, but they cannot express that music by getting on stage. You understand? There's producers these are people that you find them in the recording studio. They are the ones when you go in there, you work with them in order for them to make your song up to the standard that you want, but also the standard of what the industry wants or expects. So those people as well, they cannot get on stage, for example, or they cannot actually write the actual song, but they are able to take your music from whatever level that is where you went to see them and grow it. So that's basically where Batupedi came in and said, with the information that I have, what I'm busy, my personal life, what I'm busy doing is putting together a music industry booklet where you are able to say, okay, it's booklet, but obviously, who reads books lately? Oh, you can read a book, but we normally read them online. So what I'm trying to create is a platform where you are able to say, okay, fine, I want to get into the industry, but I don't know where to start. Who is who? Where do I go? How do I do? So that's what I'm busy working with a lot of stakeholders in the music industry to put that together, where you'll be able to say, you will Google music industry South Africa. Then you'll be able to get information about what rights do you have, who is dead, and etc., etc. So basically, I'm hoping that by this time next year, we'll be able to launch that one. As you know, you will get my time. Okay. Christos asked me just now, did you prepare some slides? But you know what? I noticed with the slides, yes, people really need slides, but when I present on a presentation, people focus on that, and then some of them would want to read. By the time you pass the slide, they're still stuck on the first slide. So I thought, no, let me make this as interactive as possible. So with the floor's permission, I'm going to go through this. And then if you have a question, maybe a concern, let's agree to take at least 2 questions on the particular topic that we're talking about. And then we move to the next one. And then we move to the next one. And I'm actually not even too sure how much time I have, but we'll move to the next one. And then if maybe like the need comes that, okay, let's go back and answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions, then we can do it. Is that cool? Okay. Let's start. There's different types of rights in the music industry. We've got performance rights, we've got mechanical rights, we've got needle time rights. These three rights are administered by, in South Africa, they're administered by 3 different societies. Now, one, performance rights is what is administered by SAMRO currently, where what is performance rights? Performance rights is if you come to Rockefeller, DJ Christos is playing. Firstly, him as a DJ, he needs to have a license. Okay, he does have a license, he does pay, by the way. You have a license with SAMRO for performance rights. What happens with that particular license? Whenever a DJ plays, wherever he plays, as long as it's on a public space, SAMRO takes the amount that you have paid and then they calculate it based on the returns that you have given them. What are returns? Returns are, okay, there's a new word now. I was told about this in David the other day. Can't remember. But it's your set of lists, how you're going to play. So let's say you're going to play for a set of an hour. You put together maybe say 20 songs. All those 20 songs, you need to submit those songs, the name of the song, who is the composer, who is the author, who is the publisher, who is the artist, publishing company, if you know, record company. You submit that information to SAMRO. SAMRO takes that information, computes it, and then that's what they will use to pay the composers, authors, and publishers only. Okay? That is also, performing rights is when your music gets played on TV, radio, as I said, performed live. If someone comes on stage, performs your song or they perform their own song, that is performance royalties. If your song gets played on long distance buses, trains, aeroplanes, airports, you go to a shopping mall, you hear jet playing music, wherever, as long as your music is played where there's a public. And the public doesn't mean that there has to be 10 or 20 or 30 people. Public can be one person. So long as it's me playing the music, playing for the other people. That's public space. The only time where a person who's playing music, they cannot pay for a license is if you're playing for yourself in your own house. If you take a speaker, you don't have to actually necessarily take out the speaker. You put the volume up, then someone else other than yourself in your own space hears that music or the song, you are liable for a license. In the golden old days, there is a speaker around Christmas. That's the only time you are not liable for a license. So if you are playing music, whether you are a business, whether you are a person who loves music but you play, if you are a DJ, there's a thing called mobile DJ license. So that's what you pay. Rockefeller having a space like this where there's someone playing music, Rockefeller pays a license to SAMRO. Then Rockefeller also submits returns to SAMRO, and then that's how SAMRO is going to be able to pay the composer, author, and publisher. I panic when I see Christos coming close. That's performance royalties. Now we have mechanical royalties. Mechanical royalties is born out of now the hard copies, where in the golden old days it used to be LPs, and then we had cassettes, CDs, cassettes, etc. Today it is all about downloads, all about streaming. That's mechanical royalties. Now, recently, SAMRO as well started paying performance royalties on streaming as well. So, when you receive your royalties from SAMRO as a composer, author, or publisher, you are now able to receive also from your YouTubes, your Google, whatever, where your music was streamed live. So now with mechanical royalties, Capasso is the only organization in South Africa then administers mechanical royalties. So what happens is, if you or me or anybody likes a song, uploads the song, or downloads, or not upload, but download the song from Deezer or any platform, online platform, as long as you download that song or that video, your data, you get charged through your data, right? When your data gets charged, then either Vodacom or MTN or Telkom Cell C doesn't play in that space. Those platforms, they charge you, let's say if I just make an example, they charge you 5 Rand to download that song. Part of that 5 Rand goes back to them as them the hosting the platform where you accessing the music. Then part of that gets paid either to MTN or Vodacom, and then part of that then gets paid back to the artist or the composer or the publisher. That's mechanical royalties. Capasso administers mechanical royalties also for composers, authors, and publishers. Now, we have another society called, there's two societies, the SAMPRA and IMPRA. They basically compete in the same space. What they do is, if your music, now, the interesting part about this one, for SAMPRA and IMPRA, now they don't pay composers, no authors, no publishers, but they pay artists, backing vocalists, anybody, or actually anybody who participated when the song was captured or recorded. I don't know if that makes sense. So if you go into the studio, and you know most the studios, you go in there, then you've got one or two engineers, then you get your producers, then one comes in, okay, you get the person singing, all those kinds of things. As long as a person said, I'm not giving. As long as that person will give, he or she is entitled to native time royalties. Now, who pays for native time royalties in terms of the user? Same space where Samro is playing in, same space where Capasso is playing in, but up to a certain level. Because Capasso also receives licensing fees from your broadcasters, SABC, ETV, DSTV, all those channels, your MTV channel, or they pay performance royalties to Sembro, they pay performance royalties to Capasso, they pay performance royalties to IMPRA or SAMPRA. Now, the only difference now between SAMPRA and IMPRA is because SAMPRA has been receiving royalties from shops, any other, music user, except for TV and radio. IMPRA recently received the money from SABC. I don't know if you saw the news and all that. So when IMPRA received the royalties, IMPRA apparently is now paying, or in the process of paying, those royalties. Those royalties are only for SABC 2014-2015, that fiscal year. So if your music was active, if you are a producer, a composer, okay, sorry, not composer, producer, artist, you were called to come and back someone, or you came and featured in someone's video or someone's song, or you featured someone else. For SABC royalties go to IMPRA, they will get you money. Okay, they already have your money. With SAMPRA, they have the money for any, like I said, like establishments like your Rockefellers, your jets, your jukebox. Sorry, jukebox. Does anybody know the jukebox? Okay, at least I'm not the only one who's a dinosaur in it. And I still 2% before I left. There was a few of us left, and the young ones, you guys, the ones, headphones, sometimes make me nice, the class, all that. Then so come in and they started calling me. At first they called me Anke. Anke, show Anke, show Anke. Show. Then they started calling me Khrotis. One day you go for that. Khrotis. What does this mean? And I went and asked my nephew and my younger brother. I said, Khrotis, keep on looking so. Before prior 94. And I realized, you know what? It is time for me to move on to make space for these young guys to come in. So as I was saying, so you have royalties from IMPRA, you have royalties from SAMPRA. The only problem there, well, not only, but one of the things is you can't become a member of IMPRA and SAMPRA at the same time. You have to choose. Either become SAMPRA member or IMPRA member, whichever way. So if you go to IMPRA, apply for a membership at IMPRA, but if you go to SAMPRA, same thing, you can't jump both. So far spoken about 3 royalties. 3 rights. Any questions on that? Sorry? Which one is better? None of them are paying me, by the way. So, but I must be honest with you, Batupele is a affiliate of IMPRA. Meaning, Batupele, we recruit for IMPRA. You understand? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. No way for me, guys. I'm a recording, so I'm joking. Look, at the moment, IMPRA is the only society that has royalties for 2014-2015 fiscal from SABC. They are the only ones. SAMPRA doesn't have that money. SAMPRA has money from, as I said, previous, from your establishments. I made an example with Rockefeller, I made an example with Edgar's, etc., shopping mall, jukebox, etc. So it is up to you as an artist or producer or anybody that plays in that space to actually ask yourself, what do I want? Do I want to go and get paid by IMPRA now, or I want to go and join SAMPRA and then get paid for other stuff, but not get paid for SABC? Look, there's talks between the two, but the last time I heard there were talks trying to sort out for it. Will the SAMPRA claim from IMPRA for their members, vice versa. So at the moment, we haven't gotten that feedback. So my advice would be, think about what you want. I normally say to people, where is the money? If you know where the money is, go fetch your money. That's all I'm saying. And I hope I answered your question. Yes. Okay, let's do this. We'll just take it number 1. I saw here number 2, 3. Okay, 4, 5. I recall that. 6. Okay, I read it. I got 6.
Yes, so can I go with SAMRO and
You can go with SAMRO, you can go with Capasso, you can go with IMPRA or SAMPRA. SAMRO is, remember, they only administer one right, which is performance rights. So you can go with SAMRO and then go to either IMPRA or SAMPRA and then go to Capasso as well. My advice is go if you haven't. Abud.
Is there any possibility that you can change from SAMPRA to IMPRA?
Yeah, you just need to resign from the other society to the one.
My question was, can I register with SAMRO and Capasso at the same time?
Yes. My advice is go do that. Remember, Sambro performance, Capasso mechanical. That's how we pull. Yeah.
What I was actually you said establishments like this, they go to either Inca or somewhere. So what happens to your taverns and other places that do play music? How do they, say, contribute or pay this royalties to whichever organization? Do they pay through the liquor licenses or do they pay, how do they?
Okay. It's a separate income or separate license that they pay from your liquor, your lights, whatever. It's another, that's what probably business people. Before I left Zambia, I never understood for it. But why are you complaining? I mean, you're paying a license, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm on the other side. I'm bound somehow also to start paying for those licenses. But it's a separate license where it determined by various factors. I can't really go into them, but they pay separate license based on if they pay Sambo. Sambo will tell them what to pay, why they pay that, and they will show them how they calculated it, etc. Same as with Capasso and Impra, etc., etc. So it's a separate. It doesn't come with your liquor license or any other part of the license.
But who makes sure that they
The
abide by those laws, like those patents, and I mean, we have like more than 1,000 patents in Soweto. So who actually makes sure they register with those organizations?
It is the responsibility of the particular organization to make sure that an establishment really pays a license. The Copyright Act does give provision for societies like Sembro, Impra, Sampra, Capasso to exist. Hence, they are able to go and license by virtue of the Copyright Act, which is in the legislation, which is law. So it is one of those, they call it the grudge payment. It's like when you pay your car insurance. You know for what you need that, but you like, man, what if I don't get an accident in the next 6 months? Ricky cancel, and then bah. You understand? But it's one of those that when it goes off your account, you kind of cringe, but there's a benefit at the end of the day. Because if you think about it, you've mentioned how many taverns? Over 1,000. Let's say, for argument's sake, all those taverns, let's say they pay 1,000 rand, for example. Out of them, they pay 1,000. Then they pay to some, and they pay to all the societies. How many mouths will be fed by those licenses? That is basically the kind of arguments that societies would have with their businesses. I know that before I left Sembro and now, is there still a struggle to get the taxi industry to be licensed? That's not going to be why, but there's that struggle where I know Impra is now making strides. How they're doing it, they're doing it totally differently. Instead of going to negotiate with the owners, they went now to their what do you call it, associations. They negotiate. Even Sandra was doing that, but now they negotiate with associations. But what they're also doing, they're bringing government on board. They say, listen, these guys, and it's not all of them who doesn't want to pay. They want to pay, but they don't see the need. And also as a businessman, you will try and save somewhere. So let's speak to the guys. You also come on board, support us in order for us to be able to get the guys to come and pay. So that's the kind of tricks that they're using recently to try and get the taxi industry to also pay. I always say good luck. And there are some questions from Issa.
So I just wanted to find out because, I'm someone who knows the industry, what's going on. Sampra, Impra. Now, you said that Impra has collected 2014 to 2015 performance royalties, needle time royalties rather. They've collected that. Does that is Infra collecting anything else?
At the moment, no.
No, nothing else. So in other words, meaning if you, and as far as I know, Infra accounts for about 10% of the market, as opposed to Sampra accounting for something like 90%.
I have my views, but yeah.
That's what the numbers are
Yeah, but
now.
but
Anyway, so what I want to know is that it simply means that if you're Infra, you're just collecting SABC and that's it.
Yeah.
And if you're Sampra, you're collecting everything else.
Yes, except SABC.
SABC.
Yeah.
So,
I think let's take 2 more questions because we're going to run along and we have quite a few people to come up. So maybe 2 questions if that's fine. Thanks.
Okay, my question is, let's say for instance I'm an affiliate of Infra. Do I lose out on payouts that are made to something, even though my work was paid out to?
You are, yes. Because the only way Sampra or Samro or Capazo or Imbra are going to pay you is if you apply for membership. Then if you do apply and then you become the member, then that's the only time you're going to be paid.
But now the challenge is in practical.
Yeah.
Even though the crowd is paid to one, and my work is paid, it's Sampra and I'm an affiliate of Infra. So I lose out on those rights.
Yeah. One more question that side.
Hi, my name is Mpumi.
Hello.
Oh no, I saw you facing this side.
I was going to, but it's fine, we'll get you.
Alright, cool. You know what I wanted to check? I see when it comes to getting money from radio and TV, it seems like an easy process. But when it comes to, like you're saying in the pub, you come as a DJ, you got your list of the songs that you get to play. So who monitors that? How do we know that? Because sometimes you find in the club they will play one song 3 times. Who's going to monitor that? Is it the pub? Or the DJ will send a list where it does it send it as an artist? When I come there, I can hear the song play. How am I going to know if I'm going to get paid? Because with the radio, obviously we put those codes and there's a tracking list, you know, as how to. So how are we going to do it when it comes to the, you know, playing a part? Because like the lady was saying, taverns, there's a one song that we play the whole day. You know, you need to get paid.
Yeah. It's the responsibility of the tavern or the establishment and the DJ to submit those as part of the license conditions to provide information where you played your music or what music has been played. So yeah.
So now as an artist, how am I going to know?
You have to rely on the institution to be able to talk to the establishment and the DJ. And look, honestly, it's that era of just sitting back and relaxing. I mean, we're using technology for that. You know, where you can Shazam your song, you tell to who's the composer. There's other technological, you know, jiggies that can actually assist. That's the problem is financially they're quite expensive. So I know that societies are also looking into, say, technology. How can you assist and, you know, make life easy for the user and the artist, etc., etc. How much time do I still have? Ooh, that's not from 5 to 2. Okay, other thing that I want to talk about is publishers. What is a publisher? In a nutshell, to cut the publisher, the thing long. A publisher is a person or a company that will take your music, make it available out there. Either they will hold it on, you know, TV, radio, whatever. That's the job of a publisher. You have what you call a record company. What is a record company? A record company is that studio that you go into to go and record your vocals, your beats, your etc. So now you get companies like Share, and they have Share Records and then they have Share Publishing. The reason why it's separated on both, not only for them but for Batupili as well as a publisher, we separate those is because of the rights. When you go and record, and then you don't pay for your recordings, you get someone to pay for your recordings, or the studio pays for your recordings. That simply means whoever is paid for that recording, they own the master of the particular song or project. So which means if you are an artist, you are able to take your music and go and, you know, point to next one. Maybe you recorded go ABC Records, and then you can't take that recording and then you only push any XYZ Records. Because if XYZ has paid for your recording. And it's important that when you go and record, make sure you pay for your own recording so that you can own your master. When you own your master, then you can do whatever. You can go and record, go ABC, and then go and publish it with Share or Batupele. You have that freedom. And then you are able also to claim royalties from your societies like your IMPA, you know, for Little Time or Sampra, whichever way that you. And oh, by the way, please, if you are a record company, go and register yourself with Sampra or IMPA. Because video royalties, that's something that people and artists and record companies, they don't understand. They're thinking, okay, I've received my royalties from Sembro, and that's no. Sembro pays you for one right. Capasso pays you for another right. Then you go to Echo, they pay you for the videos. If you had a video that was played out there, go visit Echo. Sit down with them and say, I played my video was played on SABC, wherever it was played, and I'm so and so, can you please check for me if I've got royalties? Okay. Publishing, as I said, is very vital to have a publisher. Reason being, not because I'm a publisher, but it's also we are able to look for we know the rights that are out there. We know where to go and claim for those rights. There's a thing called synchronization rights, which most of the people, 99.99% of people, do not even know what is that all about. And that's where the money actually is, in my own opinion. Because if your music is played, you've written a piece of music where it was on SABC 1, SABC News, SABC 1, 2, 3, SABC Africa, all the SABC channels. You have written a piece of music that was played 3 to 4 times in one channel a day. How much royalties do you lose now? That's where the olden generation is making their money. The young generation, all you guys pushing for is it must be played. DJ Christos, here's my song, play it. Whether it's Boom or Deep House or Kiddy Piano or Kiddy Pegiri, it's just play. Just go in there. What you're not realizing is that DJ license number 1? Is the establishment where he or she is playing license number 2? Are you a member of any of the societies? Do you understand your rights? If any of those questions are no, Batupele, come to us.
Victor, if you can maybe give your contact details so people can write them down, or I think email or...
Okay, email address? It's Victor@batupele.sa. Batu is in BATHOPELESA.net. I'm going to give you my cell number, but Victor, VICTOR, at BA.
I hope you're not on WhatsApp, sorry.
That's what I'm saying. Victor at BATHOPESA.net. Batupele, S for sugar, A. This is Batupele South Africa business. .net. Batupele. It's Batupele 2017. Twitter is there as well. Website is currently under construction. BatupeleSA.net, but it's currently under construction. Please. I'm going to give my cell number, but please don't say hi. Then I go hi. And then HUT. At 2 o'clock in the morning. 078 472. Please. Let's check Mereko. Ladies, I'm married. 078-472-3752. 078-472-3752. And I'm married to a Kala. Guys, you've been awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Up next, Mr. Isaac Koza. Please give him a big round of applause.